Hello and welcome back to Stream On. I am Hollis. With me, as always, is Eila. Hello, Eila.
Hello there.
I know you were excited this week.
So excited. Let's jump in because I can't wait.
Awesome. Kick it off.
It's October, so all the best movies are on TV. By TV, I mean streaming and regular TV and whatever, but I'm kind of annoyed with AMC because usually I like how they have only Halloween movies for the entire month.
Right.
But it's such a missed opportunity because all they do, or all they have been doing, is playing like every single Halloween movie and then every single one in a series. The problem I have with it is that most of the movies are terrible. Only the first one or two are good. So it's like most of what they have on is so boring. I'm not watching Halloween 5 3 times.
Yeah, it's true. I remember I saw Jason Takes Manhattan in the theater.
Uh-huh.
And it was, aside from one or two inventive kills, it was like, why am I paying for
I know.
this?
I know. To see Manhattan in the movie because that's kind of
Yeah, that's
DJ's.
true. I was looking for myself in a wide shot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So anyway, like I was hoping for Rosemary's Baby and The Exorcist and all the favorites.
Yeah.
And you don't really get too many of those anymore.
I'm thinking a lot of times it's probably just financial. It's all about rights. And routinely I'll see like, oh, The Exorcist 2 is streaming. And I'm like, oh, good. I'll watch him in order. And The Exorcist isn't anywhere to be found on there. Like they don't pony up the dough for the real McCoy,
Oh,
but
it's
I'm sure they get a cut rate bargain bin price on like all the sequels.
well, Exorcist 2 is one stinky movie. But I did find something great streaming. So it's called Devil in Disguise.
Ooh.
And it is an 8-part scripted series about John Wayne Gacy.
I did see there was a Gacy thing. I didn't know that was the title. Yeah.
It's so good. Oh my gosh.
The guy looks a lot like him,
Yeah.
which helps.
Yes, he's so creepy. You've seen him in a million things. He just looks very different in this. He's actually on Severance. Do you watch Severance?
I don't watch Severance.
Okay,
I tried to get into it. I could not.
All right. He's got a big part in Severance, and he's just guested on a lot of things. He was in Orange is the New Black. He's been in a lot.
Oh, okay.
But this is a very different thing for him.
It used to be that it was almost like wrestling. You had baby faces and you had villains.
Yeah.
And like, actors used to either play the good guy or they play the bad guy. And now, yeah, it's just they go between the two of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
As much as I loved watching Ed Gein, this is so much better because it's not some crazy version of him where he doesn't look hot. And
it's more realistic.
It's more realistic. It's not, like Ed Gein became ridiculous because it was so sympathetic to Ed Gein.
Well, Ryan Murphy puts the foot all the way down on the pedal.
Yes.
So this sounds like it's a little more even-handed.
And don't get me wrong, I love all of the Ryan Murphy things, but this was just I don't know. Ed Gein kind of left me a little upset at the end, but I've told you.
Oh, really?
Not
I think that's a good litmus test of who you are as a person. It really disturbed me.
No, because it was so sympathetic to him. And I think I said this in our last episode, but it just made the women out to be all the worst characters. So, and not just one, not just the mother, it was the girlfriend, it was the Nazi who probably was awful. But, there was a series of women who sort of victimized him in the eyes of this Ed Gein.
So it almost plays as like excusing what he did.
Oh my gosh, by the last episode, you want to cry for him.
Wow, that's hard to do.
Exactly. So that's what just didn't sit right with me. Obviously, I know that, and because Ed Gein is such a disturbing figure in real life.
You're ridiculous because you reminded me of this like Norm Macdonald bit, which is just like, the more I hear about this Adolf Hitler, I just really don't like that guy. Like Ed Gein is a well-known guy you should not like. So yeah, that is now I'm even more amped to see it though. I got to tell you after.
It is fun though. But John Wayne Gacy, this devil in disguise, it's really good. And the best part is that at the end of each episode, they show footage of the real people. They
Now,
honor the victims. It's nice. They show their pictures and
that's cool. I don't ever want to forget the victims of these guys.
right.
That's the real tragedy. But like John Wayne Gacy is one of those guys. I think obviously serial killers fall into all kinds of different buckets, but the ones who like bury their victims in or around their home are like a breed apart.
Yeah.
You know, that's a really weird. What do you think you'd be? Would you be a killer who was like, I'm scared to take the body outside, I'm going to bury it in the cellar? Or would you be one of these, you know, chop them up and dump them in different burrows?
Okay, well, I will answer your question, but I do have to qualify it by saying I would be none of them. But if I had to be, I would want to forget about it as quickly as possible. So I would not keep bodies as trophies in my home.
Yeah, yeah, I'd probably do the same. Plus, I'd see it as kind of a math problem. I'd be like, oh, where should I put it? And yeah, it would be bad.
Should I be worried that you've considered?
I've not thought about this too much, obviously.
Well, so speaking of scary things, do you think Rosemary's Baby is a scary movie?
I would put it under creepy before I put it under scary.
Me too. I feel like, and I don't know if I'm alone. I think I might not be. I'm so jaded by this point that I don't really find horror movies scary at this point.
Yeah, it's true. Maybe a lot of them is, especially in the case of like a Rosemary's Baby, seeing it so many times, just knowing what's behind her at any given time and what is or isn't waiting for her kind of takes some of the sting out of it. But I think the creepy part, it falls more into the kind of like supernatural haunted house devil kind of thing than it does, you know, clearly the slasher, horror, bloody, gory thing.
Oh, which
But
is cheap compared to.
right, but this is more unsettling.
Oh my gosh, it's yeah, because I mean, this is the kind of movie I love because it just takes you on this ride with her because you're in Rosemary's position. You don't know any more than she knows.
Yeah. And I also think, along with The Exorcist, which we also covered, when you have a master director at the helm and based on a really strong book, it becomes something else. This isn't a genre picture. This
Yeah.
was like a real big blockbuster picture with all the money behind it and all the thought into it, you know, and just because a schlock director kind of bought the rights to it, William Castle, it quickly became a Polanski film in every sense of the word. And there are few horror films like it.
Oh, it's so good. So one of the things I love about it anyway is that it's a New York that we didn't know because it's, you know, filmed before we were born.
Yeah, 68, I believe it came
So,
out.
you know, that's just a nice glimpse. If only the real estate would have stayed, you know, even with inflation, but you know, like an out of work actor and, you know, a non-working partner could afford like an apartment like that.
Well, now, wait a minute. Guy was in Luther and Nobody Loves an Albatross and plenty of TV
that's
commercials.
true, but no steady income.
No steady
Would be
income, yeah.
approved for an apartment now, probably.
Oh, my God. My wife and I are in the midst of moving, hence the disarray behind me you're seeing, Eila. But the financial paperwork, the filling out, the hoops you have to jump through, they're worse than ever. You have
Yeah.
to make like 80 times your income or something, or you have to have like, you know, a guarantor, it's really difficult right now in New York. So back then, yeah, that was the dream. But it was also the time we talk about where there were like empty buildings and lots and
Right.
yeah.
But their apartment, it's like it has full rooms. Like you don't see New York City apartments with rooms like that. Like the kitchen
No.
has walls.
Yeah. And it's partitioned. Their
Right.
apartment and the Castevets used to be one big apartment.
Could you imagine? I know.
Amazing.
Hence the secretary in front of the closet.
The secretary. That's awesome. It's so classy.
I know.
I don't care. I still want to live at the Bram.
Me too. I don't have to get involved with the witches. I'll leave them alone.
You can no longer, you must disassociate yourself.
That's right. Like, what was
Yeah.
her name? Mrs. Gardenia?
Gardenia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Oh,
right. So we don't have to, we can just skip around, right? We
hop
don't.
around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is Charles Grodin in on it from the beginning, or was he just
That's the beauty of this film. You start questioning, you start asking things like that. I don't see how he could have
okay?
been. I think he's honestly like, oh my God, she thinks the guy I hold up as the greatest doctor ever is
Mhm.
a I think that's the deciding factor where he's like, okay, this is a crazy lady.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
He
I
knows
don't
better, and the husband knows better.
Yeah. Oh, this whole thing is what we're always talking about
No.
of like you need a man's permission to get your checking account. Like,
I don't know that you could make this today because we don't have the same sensibility. Today the woman would kick ass, but then she couldn't. She didn't have power.
yeah, well, maybe that would be the way they'd make it today. Her
Maybe.
kicking ass
Well,
through the whole thing.
they did make it with Zoe Saldana. Did you see that? I didn't really like that
I
version.
tried to get through it because, I knew we were doing this and I wanted to see it. And it's set in France. It's weird. It's not, I love Zoe Saldana and I could not get through. I watched the first episode, but I couldn't get through the second.
It's hard. This is
Plus,
such a classic.
it's up against a classic movie already made of it. So,
And I don't
yeah.
think he got better than Mia Farrow as Rosemary.
No, they caught lightning in a bottle. I mean, Mia Farrow couldn't even better this film.
No. This right. She's kind of in the shadow. And she's been great. It's not like she's not been amazing in things.
She's
It's
been
this was
phenomenal in things like Radio Days and like
what about Broadway
Broadway.
Rose?
Broadway Danny Rose is
So
maybe her
good.
best performance next to this.
I know.
I mean, you caught her in this when she was dating Frank Sinatra. She was in the shadow of a man when she made this.
It's
You
true.
know, and it's funny when she's sitting on the couch reading Sammy Davis Jr.'s biography while she's dating Sinatra.
Right. I love her outfits in this movie.
They're adorable, but don't you think they're also? She's dressed in a way to make her seem even more like a little girl.
Yes. Very
Yeah,
much so.
yeah.
Very,
And when she gets the Vidal Sassoon cut,
yeah.
she's even more. She looks 12.
She really does. Okay, so here's my take on the movie. This is the overwhelming takeaway for me. Why is Guy Woodhouse not the biggest movie villain of all time? He's worse than Hannibal Lecter to me. He's so horrible.
I think you've just underlined the beauty of Guy. Is that, and I reread the book, the novel, prior because I knew we were doing this the past few days. In the book, there's many instances where she's like, Guy's so wonderful. He can get us out of anything. He's the ideal liar. And he lies with such charm that you don't even mind being lied to, even when you know you're being lied to. And it's like, and even in this film, he says something to Ro, about Dr. Hill. Well, what'll I tell Dr. Hill? Oh, I'll get you out of it. Don't worry. You know me. He's
Yeah.
set up as this, and she signed up for living with this liar.
Well,
And having him be an actor, he's a professional liar.
yes,
So I think we don't mind because he's so good at it.
I mind very much. But also he looks significantly older than her. So he kind of is like a parental figure almost.
Yeah. Well, she says after eating the chocolate mouse, do I get a gold star, Daddy?
Yeah.
It's very much mentor and mentee in a sick way.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable. But I don't think, except for when they're looking at the apartment, he's ever really nice to her in this movie. It's just that beginning scene. He's so selfish, even before he, joins forces with the Cassavetes.
Yeah, let's keep talking about Guy before because there's a lot there. He's rife for the picking. Like
Yes.
you couldn't get me to do that to my wife. You couldn't
Right.
get like it's not normal. And even later when he like tries to excuse all his behavior to her, he keeps it's my damn self-centeredness. It's my
Right.
and that's his like cardio his plays because he knows he's self-centered.
Because she's so accommodating too. He also knows that. If she were a different kind of person, he wouldn't get away with any of it.
Right. But also, I'll say this. He, he, he wasn't fully terrible. Like she talks him into the Bram. He
And
did not want to go to the Bram.
no, that was the only time that he's nice in this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, he's happier later, but genuinely happy with her.
Right. But
When she gets the haircut, he's awful. It's the worst mistake you ever made.
he's really mean. Yeah.
Even
I
when they're supposed to conceive, she doesn't want to eat the mouse, and he doesn't try to sort of charm her into it. He's just nasty.
Well, the chocolate mouse is so much like it's like the locket. It's like everything associated with her bringing about the devil's child. Like, if you took it, you ought to wear it.
Right.
And your favorite line in the whole thing. It
Not
wouldn't be fair to Saperstein.
fair to Saperstein.
The way he toes the company line is do you think he took? I mean, the moment clearly where the hook is set is while she's doing dishes with Minnie, and the cigarette smoke is coming in the other room.
He's in, and then he cements it the second night. But when he goes back, but
what do you think? What do you think Roman said to him? What do you think is how do you even approach that subject and feel like the husband isn't going to punch you in the face? Like, what does he say?
I feel like Roman knew that his career was the way to go. That was the end. I know people. I can do this for you. I can do that for you. I think that's what it was.
But it wasn't like Guy's career's in the toilet. He's working. He's just not working the way Guy thinks he should.
Exactly. Well, Guy is very much a narcissist, I think. Clearly, to be able to do this, you'd have to be, right?
Oh, God, yeah.
So, and he just lost that part he really wanted. And maybe that was it. Maybe it was the promise of that particular role, because he does get it, because then the other guy, Tony Curtis, goes blind out of nowhere.
That fits because Tony Curtis gets the part. And of course, you're not beating out Tony Curtis.
Yeah.
But when he comes in and he has lunch and he sits and he eats the sandwich, he's so depressed about Donald Baumgart getting the part.
I mean, he's fully aware. He's right there for the conception. He knows everything. They couldn't do it without him pressuring her, not even, again, charming her into it and making her feel good about it. He's just badgering her into doing it.
Yeah.
Even when he says, all right, don't eat it, the chocolate mousse. She's like, all right, if you're going to do this, like it's a thing that he does.
Yeah, you're right. That's not the first time.
Exactly. So he was never the best husband to begin with.
He was not. I'll tell you, the beauty of Guy Woodhouse is that he makes every other husband on the planet immediately feel like father of the year, husband of the year. He's firing on all cylinders. He's terrible.
He's really a big villain, and nobody ever talks about Guy when they talk about.
Yeah, you're right. The one husband I picture when you're talking about how bad Guy is the husband in Paranormal Activity.
Oh, I've never seen that.
Are you serious?
Never seen it. It was so boring to me. It's good.
Watch it fresh, go in, don't expect anything, and see what happens. But I enjoy it. It's very creepy. You talk creepy, it's there. But yeah, that guy is like king of the don't believe the woman. Not only don't believe her, make fun of her, kind of play on her insecurities, all of that. But yeah, no, Guy's terrible. He's terrible.
That's my overwhelming sense of this movie, that how bad he is.
Yeah.
Even, it was just so accepted. Like her friends, when they have that party that no one 60 is allowed.
Great line.
The friends think that he's acting weird. They just accept that this is how he is.
You're right. That's Guy. And we shut him out of the room because he's just we know how Guy is.
Exactly.
I'll tell you, it was aided by them casting Cassavetes because he brings some of that with him.
Yeah.
He already has some of that, like, I don't know about this guy.
Right.
That's the beauty of him. He's just good looking enough, but he's also just kind of evil looking enough. And do you know who they originally wanted to cast, the first choice?
I'll guess Robert Redford.
Exactly.
But I think someone who looks like that would be even more effective.
That's why they wanted him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even your guy, Richard Chamberlain, was looked at.
Richard Chamberlain is my guy.
I'm now anointing him as your guy because you mentioned the Thornbirds like 3 episodes ago.
I didn't know he was my guy.
He's your
Okay.
guy. He's your guy.
Yeah,
It's about time you figure it out.
I don't even, by today's standards anyway, I don't see John Cassavetes as especially handsome. He just looks very average to me in this movie.
I think he's the kind of handsome that other guys are like, oh, yeah, I wouldn't mind looking like that guy, more than women are like, oh, I got to have that guy. I think it's that kind of handsome.
And I'm sure it's more of a 1960s handsome than it today, because every guy today, is very different from that.
Yeah, it's very true. It's
Today
true.
he'd be playing trolls, you know.
Ah,
So obviously Ruth Gordon is a force in this movie.
she's amazing. And like, having just read the book, I was reminded of like Minnie in the book is like much more, she's like a fat little lady, and going the other way with the scrawny little like, and she wears the garish mascara like Minnie, but I don't think you could find a better. I mean, maybe with Roman, but with Minnie for sure, Ruth Gordon was the ideal casting. She's
Oh my
so
God.
good.
Roman is fine, but
She's fine.
great. He doesn't stand out at all. In fact, I can't even remember who plays him, but she is iconic. Like, Mia Farrow, Ruth Gordon. That's who's in this movie.
Yeah, it's true. Her voice. I think they in the book they call it like a Midwestern bray or something. It's like
Yeah.
a donkey or like it's so
a very
loud.
different section.
Very different. And she's so good too because it comes out of such a diminutive person
Yeah.
that it would never occur to you that she's spinning all these webs. It's creepy. Also, talking about her as Minnie Castevet, and we hear her through the partition, like when Terry Giannoffrio offs herself, and it's apparently because like I guess Roman kind of leveled with her and was like, "Hey, here's what we want to do," and Ruth was like, "I told you she wouldn't be open-minded."
Yeah.
Like, that's the other conversation I question is like, did they broach it before the impregnation? Did they do what they did to Rosemary? Then they were like, by the way, you're carrying.
So my take is that they told her about it, and this is why they're going this route with Rosemary, because she probably reacted so
quickly. Yeah. I'm just wondering, did they tell her about it before impregnation by the devil or after? Oh,
because it wouldn't matter if she was already pregnant. They wouldn't kill her.
Well, she was going to start showing.
Right. So they
start to feel things. So maybe they told her. That's what I mean. Like,
but then even if she wasn't open-minded, it would have been too late.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
There would be no reason to get rid of Terry.
Right. That's right.
Did you watch that Julia Garner thing, Apartment 4A, I think it was called, where she played Terry?
Yeah, I was very disappointed.
Oh my God, that was horrible. First of all, Terry was a completely different character.
Why do it?
Make her Rosemary then. And she also looks like Rosemary. It was so horrible.
If you're going to go, they already gave you Terry's backstory and it's perfect. That's how you wind up with the Castevets. You're a dope fiend on the streets pulling tricks to get money. Like, it's all right there.
Why is she a Broadway actor? That made no sense to me. As much as I love, watching that kind of thing, that's not this story.
And it's hard to pay rent. That doesn't bring you to the Castevet store.
No.
Terrible.
So much.
It was so bad. And it messed with the story because then it was after impregnation.
Right. Exactly.
So that's not when she killed herself.
I know.
It's all bad.
Horrible. And Julia Garner didn't bring anything to it that we needed. Diane Wiest was interesting as Minnie, probably for the way Ira Levin saw her.
Yeah, but she's interesting in everything. She didn't,
Yeah, but
she couldn't save it.
No, she couldn't save it. And it just goes to show us that Ruth Gordon was the better choice than even the original concept for the character.
Exactly right. Exactly right. And I mean, casting across the board, even look at Hutch.
Yeah.
Hutchinson, played by Morris Evans, spelled Maurice but pronounced Morris. He was my Dr. Zaius in
Yes.
Planet of the Apes, my beloved Dr. Zaius. So, and I can't not hear Dr. Zaius, even when he's saying, "I
Really?
lost my glove at the city center." I'm like, that's Dr. Zaius.
Oh,
It's
that's
fantastic.
why did he have to be so cryptic? Why do they always do this in movies? Just why say it's an anagram? Just tell her.
If
Roman
it's
guy, she has to waste all the time figuring it out.
if it's that important,
Right.
tell her
Just
on the
say it.
phone.
Say it straight out.
It's like in so many murder things that I watch where a character's like, they're a witness to a crime, or they found out who's going to kill them, and they're like, "Meet me at so and so." I'm like, you idiot! You're so going to die
Right, right. And ghosts always seem to be cryptic. If
forever.
ghosts can communicate, just please tell us exactly what you want us to know.
Oh,
I
true.
don't understand.
You know, now that I'm moving, for some reason, I guess me changing apartments has really lit a fire under me to watch all these movies about people moving into a new place. And so obviously that's Rosemary's Baby, but they're all horror movies, I've noticed. It's
Oh, really?
Rosemary's Baby, it's the Amityville Horror, it's House. It's like, it's now I'm scared about my
Nothing
move.
bad's gonna happen.
Okay, well, I hope not. But we're moving into an old place built in like the 1880s.
Yeah, that's
So I'm like, this place might be haunted that I'm
like
going to.
but
I'll report back to you.
all right. Just make sure.
Yeah.
Listen, I would love to have ghosts because then I would know that there's something after this. That'd be great.
Yeah, that's true. But if, like you said, it'll be so annoying for people like us who like to talk. What are we just going to be tapping? No, thank you.
And are they watching us all the time? Like when we get into the shower?
Yeah,
Can they
that's creepy. Just surrounded.
is it just like if our family members can come and visit us, that's amazing. But I'm not sure I want them to see me in the shower.
Right. Well, we're going to be watching all kinds of horror movies, obviously. That's our favorite part of Halloween. Have you ever seen Paranorman,
No. Oh,
the
yes.
cartoon?
Yes, I have seen it. It's so good.
It's adorable and it's great. And that's what the plot is. This kid sees dead people and he's surrounded by them all the time, and whether he wants to be or not. And I'm like, I don't know. I want to at least shower in private.
I know you need some me time.
There's got to be some line.
Right. It would be amazing to see your relatives and your loved ones, but not all the time. um, do you have a favorite scene in Rosemary's Baby?
Ooh. I mean, I've said once before how much I love the dream sequence.
Oh, because it
Uh,
really seems like a dream.
yeah.
It's the only movie where I see, because this happens so often in real life, where they take noise that's really happening and there's a dream built around it.
The way that they incorporate the ambient noise is just priceless. And Ruth Gordon, Minnie Castevet's voice, becoming the voice of this nun that she went to school under,
All right.
like, yeah, it's masterful. And then and the way that she thinks she's dreaming via the chocolate mouse,
Yeah.
and she's like being moved under the Sistine Chapel, seeing the artwork. And in the book they talk about, like, there's this new display at the museum and they move you along a conveyor belt so that you get to see the ceiling the way that Michelangelo. So it's like, like there's so many wheels turning in her mind while she's being moved under the 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 shelving of her closet to go into Minnie and Roman's apartment.
Why did all those old people have to take their clothes off for Rosemary to get pregnant?
I don't know, but the creep factor goes through the roof seeing them all naked.
Yes.
It's great. And
I know.
him painting her, Roman painting her body. Oh,
I know. Like he was fully in.
yeah. Well, I guess that's part of why, like Hutch said earlier when they were first moving in, of how Adrian Marcado bragged about that he conjured the living devil
Mm.
I guess the painting her is part of that. It's all like incantations and stuff, along with the singing. Yeah, I
Great
don't know. But she has to be naked, and they all have to be naked.
for
I
some
don't for
reason.
some reason, yeah.
They
A-
understand why.
Yeah. And her seeing the Pope at the time and seeing a version of JFK and
Ah,
seeing a version of Jackie O or Jackie Kennedy at that time. Like it's all the dream incorporation is seamless.
it's so good. The funniest part of the movie to me, besides Saperstein, not fair to Saperstein, is let's make love. The completely sexless sex that they have.
I was going to bring that up. That's so good. Yeah, they don't even have furniture and they're eating their deli takeout and all of a sudden she just says that.
There is no passion at all.
Zero passion, you're right.
I don't even see why these two are together.
All I can think is that that scene makes the later rape impregnation, at least thought in Rosemary's mind, okay in a weird way. Because as far as she knows, Guy just had sex with her while she was sleeping and he got carried away and scratched her up. Like the only way to kind of see that she would excuse that is if she already looked at physical love in a weird way.
That she was detached from it anyway. Well, you could see she was upset.
She was
And
very upset and she showered and she did all the things that kind of speak to it. And she went to see Hutch. And in the book, she goes away for 4 days to his cabin
oh,
to
okay.
clear her mind. And the first 2 days, she's all like, fuck that guy. She's like, I'm going to tell him it's over. I'm going to whatever. And then she's like,
Appropriate response.
that was an appropriate response. And the longer she's away, and Guy doesn't call her and she doesn't, the longer she's away, the more she feels isolated and she needs Guy. And she's like, well, I'm guilty in this too. And then she says to him when she's like, I want this baby to be a fresh start. She's like, and I was guilty too. And he's like, no, it's all me. It's my self-centeredness. It's like,
Yeah, it is.
yeah, but her 0 to 60, like acceptance of him in the film, like doesn't make sense.
That's disturbing. Also, it may be indicative of Roman Polanski's point of view. I mean, he's questionable,
Maybe.
and that's being gentle. That's being kind. I mean, he's done some very bad things with.
I've seen I saw an excerpt from like Mia Farrow's book, and she talks about the making of the film, and she talks about Cassavetes, and it's going to make you feel better about Cassavetes. Cassavetes and Polanski get into this argument, and Polanski is talking about women and how the idea of monogamy is ridiculous for a man, and that it can't exist in a marriage. And finally, Cassavetes says to him, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. He's like, I find my wife, Jenna Rollins, more attractive today than I did when we got together. And Mia said that for the first time, she saw Polanski speechless. He didn't have a comeback. He was just kind of staring at him, blinking his eyes, as if he could not relate to that feeling at all.
Wow.
Yeah.
And look at who his wife was. Gorgeous.
Gorgeous Sharon Tate. Yeah.
Way out of his league. If he was not a famous director, he could never get her.
Maybe that's why they say people seek their own attractiveness, and if you kind of are dating above you or beneath you in your mind physically, some weird shit that you should never kind of voice, like you're always going to be upset. I think you're always going to be like treading water, maybe. I don't know.
But so does Roman Polanski and his legacy affect how you feel about this movie?
No, not at all. I don't believe in the auteur theory. I
Mhm.
don't believe that you should throw out the baby with the bathwater. Like if we don't watch Polanski films, we're denying Mia Farrow an audience for her best performance.
And every
We're
person who worked so hard in this movie.
everyone from the cinematographer to the guy who was doing the lighting to the grip, like this is their best work, and you don't deny Saperstein. Oh, so good. He's so good. You know, Saperstein is super creepy once you know, like later when he drops his smile and he's just kind of, commanding the whole Rosemary thing.
Right.
He's super creepy.
Saperstein is definitely part of it.
Absolutely. From jump.
He's
That's
the
why they,
right.
yeah.
Again, without him, they couldn't do it. They couldn't do it without Guy, and they couldn't do it without Saperstein.
Isn't it amazing how many stars have to align for you to
Yeah.
get?
Even with the power of Satan, you still
Yeah.
need willing participants.
And there are a few times in the beginning where I'm like, I'm trying to direct Rosemary. I'm yelling at the screen, like, tell Minnie you're already pregnant. Like when she's like, oh, are you pregnant? Like when she's
Just move
talking about,
on.
just there were so many ways to protect herself. Don't let her and Lara Louise in. Just be like,
Right.
no, I'm not feeling well. Like shut the door. Like,
That's it.
but there's
Don't take the necklace. Don't wear the necklace. Don't eat. There's so many things.
so
But by
many things.
that point, by the necklace and the moose, Guy was already in. So she was just, that was it. She was a sitting duck because of
That
Guy.
was it. Yeah. Oh, fucking Guy.
Yeah. And she was such a better candidate than Terry. Terry was too tough.
It's true. Cherry probably went street on him. She probably started swinging at people. Yeah.
So
Oh,
Rosemary was the perfect victim because, she became very isolated. She allowed that to happen. She cut herself off from all her friends.
oh, that's
She
the
did.
worst thing.
The
You
one
see,
time she asserted herself was, when she had the party, and then she did listen to her friends, but that didn't last very long because she didn't have a real support system.
I'm mad at her friends
Because they didn't show up.
because they don't show up for her. The three or four of the women that were there in the room with her should have been like, well, listen, we're picking you up tomorrow.
Yeah,
We're
right.
bringing you, like, how do you
Right.
not follow up? There's
No,
not even follow up calls, or maybe there were off screen and it's just like, oh, the pain went away. And oh,
physically
it's
went away.
terrible.
Another favorite line is the guy that comes in and says, "You look like a piece of chalk."
Oh, what a guy. That's every woman wants to hear that.
They were so successful at making her look so sick.
She
That was,
dropped weight for it, and Mia Farrow doesn't weigh a lot to begin with.
oh my gosh, if she looks like that on screen, can you imagine how skinny she was in real life?
Yeah. Oh, terrible. Terrible.
Because that's the thing. When you see someone in real life, they always look so much smaller than you think that they're going to look.
Yeah, Mia Farrow was always a slight thing to begin with and has maintained that right up to this day. But like, when you talk about women's bodies and being in front of the camera and body dysmorphia and things, I, I find it hard to believe there wasn't a little of that at play.
You think with Mia Farrow?
Yeah, kind of.
Hard to imagine she would have that, being in such good shape her whole life.
I
But
know, but I don't know what else she did after this for a couple of years.
remember, I mean, obviously she became famous for Peyton Place, which I've never seen.
Right, but she was so young on that, and then I think it took a few years for her to really get into the Woody Allen films.
Right. I was going to say, was that her next big success, the Woody Allen movie?
Yeah, and I mean, Woody was with Diane Keaton for a period there in the early
Annie
to
Hall.
mid 70s. Yeah, so Mia started working with him later 70s into 80s. So
His
I
work
wonder.
suffered without a muse.
Yeah, yeah,
His films have, not been great ever since Mia Farrow.
yeah. It's true. It's hit or miss. Um, what haven't we covered?
Well, let's talk about Hutch.
Oh, please, I love him.
I love him too. I mean, he's the one that could have saved her, and that's why they get rid of him. Roman sees it right away.
He's the harbinger.
Yeah.
Every great horror movie needs a harbinger.
He even warned them before they went, but they
He
didn't.
warned him before he went, and that's why he's even in Rosemary's dream, warning of the typhoon on the boat that she's on.
Yeah.
He's the best.
I was shocked at the end when we find out he has a wife and children. I didn't see that coming.
Oh yeah. Well, he did. He's like divorced or something.
Right. But
Yeah. but he
You get
had,
what I'm saying.
yeah, yeah, he had children. Yeah, delivered two of my daughter's children. I'm like, what?
Yeah. I,
What kind of? Yeah, he's such an interesting, weird character.
that's the character whose backstory you should do something on, not Terry.
That would be great. I want a prequel where the Hutch character, in addition to writing his boys' stories to make a living, he's like a Murder She Wrote kind of deal, where he investigates all of these hauntings and weird goings on.
That would be great. Yeah. He
You
could
know,
team up with Jamie Lee Curtis, who obviously is doing Murder She Wrote.
oh yeah, yeah, do a crossover. You know, this is the ultimate good fences make good neighbors movie.
Yeah.
You know, I live and have lived in NYC apartments for most of my life. And it feels really good when you make a friend or a neighbor or
Mhm.
whatever. But you could also, you know, say hello to the wrong person on the elevator. And you're like, oh, I don't want to know this person. Like you get a big dose of crazy. So it's really hit or miss. And, you know, Mia learned that the hard way.
I
Rosemary.
learned through this show on ID called Fear Thy Neighbor, never to get too involved with your neighbors. So even under the best circumstances, I'm going to always be friendly to my neighbors, always,
Mhm.
because you can't fight with your neighbors. That's you're gonna lose. And that your life will just be hell, even if you're in the right. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But not get too close because what if it goes wrong? And it so often can.
I saw a commercial for a show where it's like I think it's like a reality movie type deal where it's all footage off police body cams about this one kind of war between this one single old lady in a house and her black neighbors, this white lady in a house and her black neighbors. And it was like the kids like even ride their bike up the street and she calls the cops because they're right. And and apparently it ends in bloodshed.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, oh my God, I don't know if I'm going to even watch that after Rosemary's Baby. I think I've had enough of bad neighbors.
Yeah, baby. No, you have to always be good to your neighbors. That's it.
Yeah.
You'll
We
win.
we had talked about this movie as being in both of our top 10 and
Yeah.
maybe even top 5 for you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I, you know,
it's
I have a few movies that I love, and this is definitely one of them. I don't know that I don't know. It's like an endless top 10 list, but this is definitely always going to be one of the top.
yeah, my top 10s always evolve and some pop in and pop out, but this one is a stalwart of the list. But I think you said something really interesting earlier about Rosemary's Baby, and it's true of so many films that I have watched more than other films, where it becomes almost like a comedy. Goodfellas was that way for me, where I was just like, oh my God, it's such an intense film.
Yeah.
And then I watch it more and more and I'm like, oh, it's kind of a nice film to spend time with. It's kind of, you know, it's more benign than I felt at first. And then it's just comedy to
Yeah.
me. Like, and I don't even, and they're doing terrible things. They're shooting guys in foots. They're doing, and it's just, it loses some of the wallop. But I think it's one of the great things about Rosemary's Baby that even though we can find certain lines like "Let's make love," or you know, it's not fair to Saperstein. You know, we got to pay Saperstein. Like it's a credit to him that we can still find a little comedy in it, but it
No, when
doesn't
they're
lose any of its punch.
at that point after when Rosemary is like hiding from them and they out of a comic, like out of a cartoon, are tiptoeing around the apartment.
That is funny,
How could
and
that not be funny?
people like Dr. Shan too, like people that you haven't even.
Right. Like serious characters.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So I mean, I don't know why that's in the movie, but I love that it is.
And I love that it was like they don't even mess her. They don't even like bum rush the room and put chloroform on her. They just like tiptoe ever so gingerly, and they play the long game. And it's like
Right.
I
Because where's she gonna go?
yeah, but I will tell you, I want to laugh, but I don't laugh because it's so creepy having people have a secret access to your house that you don't know about. That is terrifying.
No.
You know, there's this movie, Vacancy, that's a horror movie with I think Luke Wilson and Kate Beckinsale that I used to watch and I don't watch anymore. But they're staying in a hotel room
Oh, I
for
think
like a night,
yeah.
and there are these videotapes in the hotel room for some reason, and they're playing them, and they show people coming into the hotel, just appearing in the hotel room and attacking people,
Yeah,
and they're
that's
like, "What is it?" And it turns out they're staying in that room.
oh, you don't want
There's a
that.
secret way in. Yeah. Oh, it just I could not sleep for days.
I know because you want to feel safe at home. That's sort of one of the basic things you need in your life.
Once you bolt and chain the door, you think you're safe, and the fact that you're not is terrifying.
Oh, and as the audience, it can only be scary to the audience because we know they're not. She doesn't know it, but we know it.
Right. Right. So, do you feel cheated at the end, not seeing the baby?
No, I don't.
Because nothing could live up to it, right?
Exactly. And it almost doesn't matter what the baby looks like. It's the idea of what they did and the fact
Right.
that she's kind of, horrified, but then, you know, acquiesces. That's the point, not what the baby looks like. If we had seen the baby, it would be a different movie.
Yeah. Yeah. A little horned baby.
And it wouldn't have looked good. It certainly wouldn't be a classic movie also because it wouldn't by today's standards, it would probably be ridiculous.
Then it would have been in the camp of so many other genre pictures of schlock,
Exactly. It would have
whatever.
been,
Yeah. It couldn't have overcome that.
right, yeah. Which is great fun too, but it's just a different, it's not Valley of the Dolls. It's a different movie.
Yeah.
But I don't love Valley of the Dolls.
Speaking of Sharon Tate, there's your connection. Yeah, but I think Guy wants that Valley of the Dolls life, though.
He just wants everything. He wants to be the center of the world.
Yeah, he is the center of his own world.
In Rosemary's world, and that it's not enough for him. He has to, that wasn't enough. He had this beautiful wife, loved him more than anything, did anything he wanted, was happy, and wasn't good enough.
Yeah, I was thinking about Hutch, and there's a line in the book, and please let me know if it's in the movie because I don't think it is, where Hutch is in a coma in the hospital, and Minnie, I don't think Rosemary tells Minnie what is wrong with Hutch, but just that her friend is sick. But in the book, Minnie is like, "Oh no, that's terrible. I hope it ends better than it did for my friend Miss Gardenia."
Oh,
And then I remembered, like, Miss Gardenia, the guy says was in a coma and then she died. I hope I go that way. That's what happened to Hutch.
so
It's
this is
like,
oh,
yeah, that's their MO. It's the same way. He goes the same way as Miss Gardenia. For some reason, because I read the book, I didn't make the connection.
yeah. Neither did I.
And they need something of the person, so they took Hutch's glove.
Right.
But like that's so creepy. Like Roman goes there and he's like, "Oh, someone's there," and then Guy comes still in his makeup. They like ripped him off the
Right.
set
He had to run home.
to steal the glove. He's like, "Oh, I'll get your coat." Like, woo,
No, he's so under their control, but he wants it. He
he
wants it
wants
that
it.
bad.
I just can't. The disconnect, the kind of like, I'll sacrifice my wife, and then he still like kisses her, but
Right.
he gets. I remember once the baby moves, he feels it, and he's like, "Oh," he like recoils.
He's afraid. And then do they have a marriage once the baby's born? I mean, does Guy think, I'm out at that point?
It will not surprise you that I've read Son of Rosemary
Okay, and
because I am a big Ira Levin guy. He is full time in LA and she's in New York, where mostly she was raising Andrew. It's, vastly inferior a book, obviously, to Rosemary's Baby, but there are some fascinating things in it. And Guy, gets his career in his big house. And yeah.
And probably another wife eventually. And
Yeah, that's the way that guy views the world, is
yeah.
that everyone else is a minor player in his life story.
Well, right, because a narcissist just, only is worried about what will enhance them.
Yeah, yeah. Looking at it, and you and I are in long-term relationships. I I think there's so much there horror-wise, like, to because think about it. That's the one person who, if all of a sudden you discovered they were in league
Mm.
with these strangers who you met Thursday,
I
and
know.
he made the decision immediately to,
Easy. He could
like,
think about it.
oh my God, that's you buy into her paranoia and mania, because that's so the hardest blow of all.
Because they had no real marriage anyway. If he could make that decision that quickly, he
Right,
really couldn't have loved her.
right.
I'm also uncomfortable with how she asks him if they could have the apartment. It's not, do we agree that we both want this? Can we have it? Can we have
Oh,
it?
please, daddy, please. It's like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't like that. I mean, I'm
Mm,
sure probably no one today would be comfortable with
right.
that. But
But I'll
it,
tell you, if that wasn't the relationship, guy wouldn't be in it.
right.
That's
He
how they
don't
got together. She
right.
signed up for it and he signed up for that.
Right. She needed someone like that to take care of her, and he
And he
needed.
could only be with someone who acquiesced to everything, who had no free will.
Right.
Oof.
Well,
Ah,
think we've covered Rosemary's Baby.
absolutely.
Uh, what's next? What do you feel like doing?
Ooh, I don't know. I think we could hop into Noir-vember.
Oh, I like that. Maybe do a classic, like a Double Indemnity or something like that,
I'd
maybe.
be up for that. I love Billy Wilder. I love Hitchcock. I
Oh,
could, I
Hitchcock.
could, yeah. Let's talk about that, because there are, like, we could get into anything. I'm up for anything.
And if anyone has suggestions, we're definitely open to that.
Yeah, please leave a comment. Let us know. I'm down.
All right. Well, everyone, happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Dream on.
Stream on.